Hi, this is Terry with Sweet Stitching, Embroidery, and Design. I want to show you how to add lettering to a design in SewWhat-Pro. It's very simple and you will love this feature. As you see, I've got my little unicorn displayed on the screen already that I want to add lettering around. I'm going to left click on the design with my left mouse button, and I'm going to drag it down just a little bit here so we can add some space above it to add our lettering. So we've got our little unicorn here down on the hoop a little bit. If you look at the menu bar here at the top of the screen, there's icons for the different features that SewWhat-Pro uses. Right now we're going to use the lettering and monogramming feature. If you look here, when you hover over it with your left mouse button, you see insert lettering into pattern show up. So left click, and that brings our add lettering to pattern screen. And this is a wonderful feature in SewWhat-Pro. You can type your text here. We'll type Terry. Right now you can see the lettering at the bottom of the screen. That's our little preview window. Lettering stitch preview. If you look over to the right on our lettering screen, you can see monogram styles. This is the setting that I used previously. SewWhat-Pro remembers whatever setting you used on the last time you were in the software. So last time I was using the arch text. If you click if you click the drop down button with your left mouse button, sorry about that, I've got dogs wanting to be petted here, so excuse me a moment. Go away. Okay, you can look at the different features. Click standard text, and that straightens your text out again. You're on the straight line, that's the standard. You can do an up slant. That's usually better for just 3 letters, as you can see here, 1, 2, 3. Let's take some of our letters out. Let's do a monogram. TLH for Terry Franklin Laughlin. So I usually put my last name in the center. So you can see we've got TLH going up at a slant, or we can do arch text, down slant. You can see the preview change every time we do something in the upper right here under the monogram styles. Up slant, arch text, down slant. You get the idea. And this is great for monogramming right here. The center letter is bigger than the end letters. There's another one. This is my favorite. That's one I tend to use very often. Right now though, we're going to go back up to the arch text. So we're going to do the up. And here's a nice feature here too when you're trying to adjust your lettering. You can make it curve more or curve less depending on whether you're doing the up or the down. You can adjust the position, and that has the spacing or kerning between the letters. Here is where we do our font and our font size. Right now we're set for Arial, 72 points bold, and that will have a text size, as you can see in the box here, of 1.42 inches tall, 2.40 inches wide. There's our line spacing. We can set that for double spacing or however we want if we've got more than one row of words. You can put your own fonts into the lettering font list. And that's only if you haven't installed them, but we've got all of our fonts installed. This is great if you've got the OTF style font, but right now we'll save this for a later lesson. So right now we'll left click on font and size, and let's do a different font. And the nice feature on this green is that you can actually preview your different fonts so you know what each font looks like. Some software I've used, it just keeps it plain and you don't know what you've got until after you click on it and hit enter. This is nice because you can preview it immediately. So I'm going to use Broadway. And I don't want it bold, but this is where you can also change the font style. Right now it's set for bold, so I'm going to left click on regular. And let's see if 72 is going to be big enough. You can also change your color here as well. Let's do blue to match the unicorn. And let's see what size we get if we do 96 point. Hit OK with our left mouse button. And that puts our text at 1.97. And then it'll be 3.43 inches wide. So that's going to be a little bit big. So let's go back in, left mouse button. And I'm going to use a size of about 36 points. And left click OK. And then right now I've got it set on satin fill. You can also do a running outline, and you can see again the lettering stitch preview of your fonts changing. It's a satin outline. That's good if you want to do an applique. This is the actual applique here. There's a blanket stitch. You can do just a plain filled letter or satin columns. Satin columns is my favorite. You can also add a satin border if you like. Usually I don't. Or you can add an outline stitch to it. Usually I just prefer the fill or the satin column. Right now we're going to do the satin column. And in the stitch properties you can do more tweaking. You can also tell it, whether or not you want underlay. Underlay is nice because it gives a little support to your stitching. If your stitching is dense, you really don't need it, but I tend to use a little bit of underlay. So leave that checked. And then you can also save your settings if you like, if you want to use these on a future project. And right now I'm going to go up here and I'm going to left click on OK. And I have to scroll up just a little bit here because our hoop is fairly large, so you can hear dogs in the background. I apologize. Just scroll up, go over here and get my lettering, and you can see it's already got a box around it. So I can hold down my left mouse button and watch when you move your cursor up to it. See the pointer on the cursor? It turns into crosshairs. That means that it's available to move when it's across like this. So hold down the left mouse button and drag it over here. Let's move our little horse back up. I don't know why it did that, but it did. Sorry. Just move them back. And then see the little green handle on my text box? If you hold down your left mouse button and drag down just a little bit, you can rotate it. That's the rotate. You keep holding it, you can move it completely around. And you can drag it down more if you like. Now we've got my initials in here. And I'm not real crazy about that, so I think I'm going to change that again. Let's go back into where we were. If you want to go back in and edit again, just hold your mouse button. And see right now, I wanted to do it, but I couldn't get into it. So how am I going to? So I double clicked. When you double click, it brings the box back up. Another way you can get to it is you can also click on the color block, which is the lettering, and then double click on that again if you feel like you're stuck. So there's two different ways you can get in there. Usually there's a couple of different ways of doing everything in SewWhat-Pro. It's a very nice program. I love it. So we'll double click on this box. We've got TLH. I think I want to change it back to Terry. still like the arch. Let's make it a little bit less arched. So we'll hit the minus. And I don't like that font, so let's do a different font. Let's do Bubblegum. Hit OK. Then select OK to lock it in. And this is showing our blue color. I think I really like this royal blue color better. So let's change it to that. And that's this color here that's already highlighted. It's so smart. It shows that. So let's make this the blue color. 1804. Now we've got the same colors. And now we've got Terry there, but I don't like it that way. Let's rotate it a little bit. Hold down the left mouse button on the little handle. And we'll drag it back down a bit. And I think that's the way I like it. And now since we've been manipulating this design, we're a little off center. So before we save our design, we need to go up to Tools. And if you go up to Tools and go part of the way down, 3/4 of the way, you want to left click on Center Pattern. The other way you can get to it, the shortcut key, is hold down the Alt key and press the C key simultaneously. So just left click here and see it's centered our pattern again. So you want to go to File and then do Save As. And we could save as Blue Unicorn. And I don't like to save over my design. Usually I do this first. Blue Unicorn, Terry. And select Save. And see it's saved it in the proper group size. And we're ready to go to stitch it out. That's all for now. Watch for my designs. And what are you doing?